I love that some of my clients and students have moved on once they've acquired information and experience to having their own clients and students and helping others the way they were helped by me and by others. And what's interesting is that they find out that sometimes the questions that they're being asked require answers that the questioner did not expect. So let's talk about asking the right questions to get the right answers in this episode of the VO Heroes podcast. One of my clients and students had a client and student of their own who said, well, I'd love to, figure this all out. What do you need to have a voiceover? What kind of software do you need to use to do voiceover work? Not audiobooks in general or in specific, but just voiceover in general. And in particular, they were asking, what software do you need to use? And as you know, I recommend Audacity. Most of my students stick with Audacity. Some of them expand out into other areas because they're doing other things with voiceover or other categories. But she said, well, I recommend Audacity. And the person said, oh, yeah, my computer is so old that it won't even run Audacity. Well, so the question that needed to be asked, because if your computer is so old it doesn't run Audacity, it's not going to run any other piece of software either, because all of the other pieces of software are more complex and have a bigger footprint and require stronger hardware and more modern operating systems. If your computer is so old that it won't run some version of Audacity, then the question that should have been asked is, hey, I need a new computer. What kind of computer should I buy? Because mine is so old it doesn't even run Audacity. And, I get that people are trying to get the value out of what they purchase. There are some people like, why would I upgrade my computer every few years? I want to buy one and use it for 2 decades. Well, best of luck there. But it is important that if you're trying to help people out, that you get to the crux of what really is their issue. And sometimes that takes a little digging. Sometimes it's presented to you with a follow-up to your answer, like what happened here. Oh, my computer is so old that blah, blah, blah. So, but understand that sometimes people phrase their questions, phrase their asks for support or advice in ways that make sense to them, but may not be serving the actual problem they're trying to solve. And so one of my favorite phrases is, I'd like to answer a question you didn't ask. Would that be okay with you? Or let me answer that in a way that you may not expect by answering a different question. Or there's a different question that you need to ask. In some way, I prepare them for what might not be the answer that they expect. So it's okay to dig. And if you really want to help people, you want to meet them where they are. And they may not know enough about their problem to even pose a question that is completely well-formed and makes all kinds of sense. So sometimes the question that's asked isn't the question that needs to be answered. And I'm wondering if there are any questions that you've asked me in the past, or you've asked others that have had surprising answers, like, yeah, well, I think I'd like to answer that in a slightly different way. Or have you experienced a way to do that? I'm wide open for ways to say that so that the person doesn't feel insulted or feel like I'm talking down to them. I would love to know what your thoughts are on that. Let me know in the comments below. If you're watching on voheroes.com, you can share this by going up to the address bar and grabbing the URL. Share this with another actor that you might think benefit. Please hit the like button as hard as you can until you hear that little cracking noise. Don't do that. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to. There's even a notification bell that you can hit that will let you know when new episodes come out. That would be great if you did that. I'd be happy to do that, except for the breaking of the like button part. I'm David H. Lawrence the 17th. I thank you so much for watching and for listening, and I will see you in the next episode of the VO Heroes podcast.